everybody, and thank you for joining us for Sakuragaku 2024. I'm going to be your host today. My name is Lauren Sever. I've lived in Japan for about 6 years now, and before I even moved here, when I was a kid, I was always really interested in traditional Japanese culture. And since I've come here, I've learned a lot, I've studied a lot, and now I'm here talking with you. So I'm sure you're noticing this outfit that I have on today. So this is from what's called the Heian period in Japan, so around the Middle Ages. And it's actually a man's outfit. The woman's outfit weighs about twice as much as this one, and this is already 10 kilos. I'll go over the main points. So up here on my head, this massive hat is called an eboshi, and it would have been worn by aristocratic gentlemen. You would never take it off in public. That's just about as embarrassing as going out naked, which is pretty interesting. And then this main part here, this white part, is called a kariginu. So, fun fact, kariginu means hunting garment. So, believe it or not, this giant silk outfit would have been worn in casual circumstances. So, going out hunting, doing sport, relaxing at home. Think of it kind of like the Heian equivalent to a jersey. And these huge trousers that I'm wearing are called sashinuki. If you notice, the bottom kind of puffs and goes up. So there's a string inside that ties up and connects to the waistband to create this shape. And then last, on my feet, if you can see them, I have these huge black shoes called asagutsu. They are traditionally made out of wood and do take some getting used to walk in. I guess the last point that I could say about this outfit is it was rude in this time period to show your hands, which is why I am holding my sleeves like this. Today we're going to start with the Tsugaru Shamisen, one of the largest of the 3 types of shamisen.
津軽三味線奏者の浅野翔です。日本には三味線という楽器がありますが、三味線というのはご覧の通り弦楽器です。日本から古く弾かれてきた弦楽器なんですけれども、三味線といっても様々な三味線音楽のジャンルがあります。ピアノがジャズを弾いたり、クラシックを弾いたり、ロックを弾いたりするように、三味線が民謡を弾いたり、長唄を弾いたり、歌舞伎の音楽ですね、浪曲を弾いたり、このようにたくさんのジャンルがあるんですが、私が弾いている津軽三味線というのは三味線音楽の中でも最も新しい最新の三味線音楽です。日本列島の最北端ですね、青森県の津軽地方というところに伝わる民謡フォークソングを演奏するので津軽三味線というふうに呼ばれるようになりました。いろいろなお三味線音楽があるんですが、津軽三味線の演奏方法の大きな特徴、一つだけご紹介すると、バチで弦を叩くように演奏する、リズムを出しながらメロディーを奏でる。
That was fantastic, wasn't it? One of the most well-known Tsugaru Shamisen pieces is the Tsugaru Jonkarabushi. A performance of this piece made the Guinness World Book of Records in 2016, when a staggering 1,911 people performed simultaneously. Today's performance was a bit more manageable with 2 people, but performing in perfect unison is never easy, so quite impressive, I think. performance we're about to see is going to show a combination of shamisen and a dance called te odori. So te means hand and odori means dance. So our lovely lady performer here will be using an umbrella and a fan, and her movements will go along with the song that we hear. The movements require a great deal of fluidity and concentration. It's a very structured dance, so there's not a lot of room for error. The way that she seamlessly opens the umbrella is beautiful, isn't it? A wonderful performance by our shamisen players. There are three types of shamisen, and they're most easily characterized by the thickness of the neck. We've just listened to the Tsugaru Shamisen, which has the thickest neck and the deepest sound. Next is the thin neck shamisen, which is used in nagauta, a form of kabuki music that was established during Japan's Edo period. Notice how the size affects the sound.
こんにちは。細竿三味線を本日弾きます山尾真也と申します。三味線はこちら本日細竿ですので津軽三味線よりもずっと細くなっております。そしてこちらの胴のここの部分だけをめがけて象牙のバチで阿波踊り、例えば引いてすくって弾く、この3つで弾いたりします。
I actually have a little bit of involvement in the world of Japanese music myself. For the last 3 or 4 years, I've been learning to play the ryuteki, which is originally used in gagaku, or traditional Japanese court music. As you can probably tell from my outfit, that's something that I'm pretty interested in. The unique sound of gagaku and the culture that surrounds it is fascinating to me, which is why I decided to get involved. However, the sound, as you will hear in a moment, is quite loud, which makes it difficult to practice at home, which is why, after all this time, I'm still not very good and will not be playing for you today. There are a lot of different flutes in Japanese music, not just the ryuteki. For example, we have the nokan, which is used in traditional Noh theater, and the kagura flute, which is used in Japanese Shinto ceremonies. The great appeal of the shinobue that we will be hearing today is that it can be used in a collaboration of various genres of music, not just folk songs.
石森裕也です。篠笛の、演奏をしております。今日使う楽器はこの篠笛という楽器でございます。ここが歌口という吹く部分で、ここが指穴といって押さえる部分の、7つ穴が開いてて8つ開いてる、楽器でございます。この楽器の形自体は平安の頃からほとんど変わっていないんですが、今回使う楽器は歌笛といって音が調律されています。なのでドレミが吹けるようになってますんで、結構近代に作られた、お笛でございます。音的にはという音になります。よ
That was great, wasn't it? The sound of the flute and the shamisen would traditionally, and perhaps even still today, get people in a very celebratory sort of mood. And whenever you would have this feeling and this desire to dance, you would make the letters I, Do, Ha in Japanese with your hands, like this. I, sorry about the sleeves. I, Do, Ha. Like that. You can give it a try. So the first movement they do is the I, then it's followed by the Do and the Ha. Obviously they're using their full body, so it looks a little bit better than when I did it. It's only 3 simple motions, so once you get the hang of it, it's quite easy to do, and then you just sync up with everybody else. They did a great job, didn't they? No instrument better represents Japan's own tropical island paradise than the Sanshin. This stringed instrument is indispensable to Okinawa music and culture.
皆様はじめまして、きなりいちと申します。こちら沖縄の三線という楽器でございます。この三線ですね、こういった爪を使って弾いて演奏します。で、特徴があるのは歌と一緒に演奏することから歌三線という言い方をしております。はい。なので、簡単に弾ける楽器でもありますので、ぜひ沖縄にいらした際にはこの三線という楽器弾いてみてください。
It's often referred to as a singing sanshin because it's always accompanied with a song. The kachashi, a dance performed with singing and sanshin music, is often used at celebratory occasions like weddings or festivals, and this tradition is uniquely Okinawan. Let's give it a go, shall we?
よろしければ手拍子でもやってみましょうか。ほいほい。はとまなかもりはいのぼりこばのし茶にはりのぼりはいやよてばかいだきてとよろねんよまさてみごと
When performing the kachashi, men will lightly clench their fists, and women will open their hands and move like so.
等身大三手腕に三番ならんしやよいやな若さ町村のさしなのたんめはいや戦争のよいやないやささささささおとにとよまりのふむらうどんの診断によいやなファニーとよまりの作文字のほいがじまるぎはいや戦争のよいやないやさささささささ
Okay, so to sum up the explanation that she gave previously, you basically, like as I said, if for men, you clench your fists together. For women, traditionally, you hold your hands open, but as you can see, it's pretty free. You can do whatever you want. And you just kind of go along with the music, go along with the feeling, and just wave slowly back and forth and enjoy your time with everybody. Our first act featured traditional Japanese instruments performed in a variety of different ways. For our second part of the program, we're going to be enjoying a performance of Dairengaku, a modern revival of a performing arts style with a history spanning of over 1,000 years. The comprehensive theme of today's program is Sakuragaku, or music and instruments to be performed during the springtime. So I'd like to take this opportunity to discuss the history of Japan's favorite flower. When you think of springtime in Japan, of course the cherry blossoms are what come to mind. And just by seeing the amount of tourists from international countries that we have at the moment, it's clear that the whole world wants to join Japan in celebrating this beautiful season. However, for Japanese people, sakura are not important just because they're pretty. From the word sakura, we can infer some of the meaning of just how important the tradition of celebrating this flower is. The word sakura is split into two parts, sa and kura. Sa represents the god of agriculture, and kura represents a place that one lives. So the sakura tree is the place that the god of agriculture resides. Because of this, traditionally, Japanese people would celebrate the coming of spring and the hope of a good harvest for the year by going to visit and interact with the sakura trees around them. This tradition continued to grow, and it became an annual thing that people looked forward to drink and eat and celebrate underneath the trees. And if you go to any park in Japan in the springtime, you can see that it's still a very popular tradition today. Sakura season is something that can be enjoyed with all of the senses. You can see the flowers, of course, but you can also hear the rustling of the wind blowing through the leaves. You can take in the fragrance of the flowers. You can enjoy eating sakura-flavored sweets like sakura mochi. That's why we want to cover in today's theme the importance and the joy of everybody's favorite spring flower. Established in the mid-Heian period, Dengaku was popular throughout the entire country, but was most popular in the imperial capital of Kyoto. At its peak, it was a hit with everybody, from the emperor and the aristocracy, all the way down to the common people. However, despite its immense popularity at the time, after the Middle Ages, it all but disappeared from Japanese culture. Because this is such a wonderful, vibrant, and exciting art form, it was considered a shame to let it disappear from people's memories. And that's why it's been revived recently as Daidengaku. In Daidengaku, we hope to maintain and reproduce the original spirit of this wonderful form of art that features music, song, and dance. Now, why don't we go ahead and watch an example of it and imagine that we've traveled back to the time where this wonderful art form was popular with the people. What a spectacular show! We are so happy that you decided to join us today and watching the performance of Sakuragaku 2024. We hope that you enjoyed this sampling of Japanese music and art, and we hope that if you ever find yourself in Japan, you'll take the opportunity to try out one of these art forms for yourself. Thank you so much.